an exciting weekend with a lot of announcements coming in from the US, especially on the tariff front. So what clearly happened? What we're seeing is that on Friday, the Supreme Court had struck down the tariffs that were imposed by Donald Trump. Now, what is the Asian market doing this morning? Let's look at that, right? Amongst this uncertainty that's coming in on the tariff front, now Asian markets are seeing a bit of a rise this morning. Taiwan index is up 1.47%. We're seeing Hang Seng that's up almost 2% in the trading session. We have China as well as Japan, which is closed. But apart from that, most of the Asian markets have opened up in the green, given that over the weekend, US President Donald Trump also announced that he's going to be increasing that global tariff that he indicated at 10%. That's increased to 15%, but it is still a better rate than what everyone was seeing, especially for India. So what's the Nifty implied open indicating as of now? It's indicating a positive start, a strong start, a gap up start for the Indian market. 152 points uptick is what the Nifty implied open is indicating. Now, all these overnight cues that we have coming in, how is that going to be impacting in terms of important cues for the Indian market? We have a team of research joining us right now to set you up for trade, tell you which are the important stocks to watch out for in the trading session as well. First up, let's go across to Hormaz, who's here to tell us the important cues that he's picking up this morning. Good morning, Hormaz, and welcome back.
Good morning, Vinny. And yes, indeed, the broad premise of the market has been that they have not gone anywhere over the last 2 weeks, and they've been stuck in this range of around 25,500 to 26,000. And even in the last week, despite gaining for 4 out of the last 5 sessions, the index only gained 100 points on a week-to-date basis. But beneath the surface, there is a lot of activity that has been taking place. Last week's high, of course, 25,885. We need to keep an eye out on that. And of course, Thursday's low, which was that panic selling low of 25,388. That is the broad range in which the index has been all through last week. Incidentally, both of these levels were struck on Thursday. But the index to watch today is going to be the Nifty Bank, and there are multiple reasons as to why is that. So, of course, 3 important names that are constituents of this index will be determinants of where the index moves. IDFC First Bank is one of them, AU Small Finance Bank being the other, and of course, Axis Bank is one more stock that you need to keep an eye out for today. The other reason is the fact that PSU banks have been driving the Nifty Bank higher. The index was up 5.5% last week. Most of the lenders, be it Canada, PNB, all of them gaining between 6 to 9%. So it'll be interesting to see if there is any follow-up attempt or follow-up buying seen in these PSU banks. The other reason being the fact that unlike the Nifty, there were 2 attempts made by the Nifty Bank to test its record high levels of 61,764. That is the important level. Last week's high was 61,678. So they came close to that. And last week's low of 6,500 is going to be the downside support that you need to watch out for on the Nifty Bank. It's another important week ahead for the IT names as well. A slew of downgrades have come in from Jefferies this morning. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Why it's also important is because both Nvidia and Salesforce will be reporting results this week, so it keeps the IT stocks in the spotlight. It's an important week otherwise as well. It's the monthly expiry tomorrow for the Nifty contracts, for the Sensex contracts on Thursday. Keep an eye out on all the geopolitical developments, the tariff-related issues, the Iran-related issues, oil prices impacted as a result of that. So all of this, there's a lot to track in the week ahead. But for now, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a gap up. The question is, will that sustain?
Okay, will that sustain is the key question. Thanks so much for that, Hormaz. But let's move on and now talk about some of the important stocks that you should be keeping on your radar this morning. We have Ria to give us that list. Good morning, Ria.
Well, good morning. Let's start off with UPL first. They are going to be consolidating their Indian and global crop protection businesses, and this will then be demerged from the existing listed entity and then listed separately on the Indian exchanges. So that is one to watch out for. All cargo terminals will also be in focus. For the month of January, the total volumes have increased by 8% on a year-on-year basis, although sequentially they have declined by around 5%. Axis Bank as well as Credit Axis Grameen will also be in focus. Axis Bank has said that they have no intention to submit a bid for a stake in Credit Axis. Keep an eye on IDFC First Bank as well. They have disclosed a fraud roughly worth 590 crores at the Chandigarh branch involving government accounts. Moving on to RailTel as well as Ashoka Buildcon, the consortium has won an order worth roughly 1,136 crores for a period of 5 years. Narayana Hrudayala has acquired a 3.3-acre land parcel along with buildings in Electronic City to set up GCCs and to expand the existing business. WeWork as well has inked a deal to expand its leased capacity in Bangalore. They will be adding roughly 3,100 desks by September with an investment of roughly 42 crores. And lastly, also keep an eye on export-oriented stocks. Textile names, the likes of Gokuldas, exports, auto components, as well as shrimp stocks as well will be in focus as the new US tariff rates come into effect.
Okay, yes, we'll surely keep an eye out on that. Riya, thanks so much for that. But let's move on. And in the final leg of update, we have Sudarshan joining us to tell us what's going to be happening in the world of FNO. Good morning, Sudarshan. A very exciting weekend. We're waiting for an exciting week as well now.
Good morning, Vinny. So tariff uncertainty is back, and there is another news that's floating, and that will be in the focus is the talks between the US and Iran. That will also keep the market in the check, or the direction will come from those talks also. As far as the Friday session is concerned, market did preempt this US Supreme Court decision of striking down Trump's decision on the tariff front, and that's the reason we saw Nifty holding on to the gains of more than 100 points, and it's back to around the levels of 25,600. Now the data has improved, and it's a significant improvement if you take a look at the both call options data as well as the put options. Call options, what happened? We have seen a huge short covering. What it means that call writers, the positions they had taken earlier, because of the up move that we have seen in the market, they had to unwind their positions. And put writers, where we have seen the significant fall in the premium. That's the reason major put writing and has led to an increase the Nifty put call ratio to 0.97 from the earlier level of 0.71. Even if you come to the FI flows front also, we have seen buying in majority of the segments. You take a look at index futures, buying was more than 690 crore. In the stock futures also, more than 5,000 crore. Bank Nifty options, Bank Nifty futures, everywhere there was buying, and that has led to FIs adding long positions of more than 8,000 contracts. They did add short positions, but if you compare, the short addition is much lesser than long's position. That's the reason long's exposure has increased to 25%, while short exposure has fallen further to 75% from the earlier week level of around 82 to 83%. Now to the options data, 25,500 and 25,400 put options have seen maximum put writing, and those two put options had the maximum fall in the premium, while on the call side, most of the call options from the range of 25,400 to 26,000 have seen a fall in the open interest, but premium has seen a significant rise. So support for Nifty, 25,400 will be very important support. It's very unlikely that Nifty is going to fall below this level in immediate term unless something major news comes. But support 25,324, resistance 25,740. As far as the stocks in the band are concerned, two stocks remain in the band, SAIL and Saman Capital. Keep an eye on all the IT stocks, especially Persistent. Some news can be expected over the next few days, but Jefferies has come out with a note downgrading majority of the names, and also Tube Investments, after earnings, the stock had seen a major fall, but over the last few trading sessions, there has been a significant rise in this stock, so keep an eye on this too.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Sudarshan. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. After the break, we'll get you updates with regards to Trump's tariff and what's next for the global trade.